Dear student, class 10, welcome to our online class Greenfield School and College. Today I am going to discuss about the chapter 16, Social Problems of Bangladesh and their Remedies. The society and the social problems are closely related. You know what is society? Society consists of the people and institution around us, our shaped beliefs and our cultural ideas. And problem, I define it another way. A problem is situation preventing something from being achieved. Actually, the word problem comes from a Greek word obstacle. The social problem persisted at the very birth of the society and are still continuing. Only the nature of the problem has changed. Actually, from the beginning of the society, it was related our life. Only the nature of the problem has changed. It is true. The social problem is such an abnormal situation. What is called social problem? Social problem is such an abnormal situation of the society that influences most of the people of the society underlined, and everyone needs to work together to overcome the situation. We have known about the social changes in the earlier chapter. There is a deep relation between the social change and the social problem. Due to unplanned social changes, the role of various social institutions and its failure to work properly create this social problem. The form and types of social problem vary from society to society. There are many social problems in Bangladesh like HIV/AIDS, road accident, violence towards women. At first we discuss social anarchy and degradation of values. It's important for your MCQ. The harmful and the problematic elements and the inconvenient situations for the society are commonly known as social problems. The social problem does not happen temporarily. It becomes more or less permanent, and unified effort is needed for its remedy. So the social problem is such a state of social life which impact on the majority of the social people and which is treated as unwanted, and unified effort from the people of the society is needed for its prevention. The social problem originates from social indiscipline underlined. So we can say it's come from indiscipline. The social disorder is the disregard for traditional norms. What is called social disorder is the disregard for traditional norms, regulation, customs, conduct and behavior in the society. The social indiscipline can be seen only when the influence of social rules and regulations will be reduced from a man's life. It means when the social norms fails to regulate the behavior, it is true underline of a person, then the moral deterioration of a person starts its formation. The social institution become non-functional when the underlying moral deterioration of the society becomes massive. In such a situation, various types of social problem can happen to be generated. The mentionable symptoms of social indiscipline and anarchy are crimes. What type of symptoms of social indiscipline and anarchies? Like crimes, juvenile crimes, drug addiction, kidnapping, suicide, oppression of women, divorce, deterioration of the law and order situation, bribe, hijacking, terrorism, highway robbery, extortion, nepotism, sexuality. outbreak of sexual disease, child labor, negligence of the children, murder, and so on. The concept of social anarchy underlined this. Social anarchy is the what is social anarchy? Is the highest form of social disorder. Anarchy descends when the government machinery does not work properly and administration cannot control the evil of personal or group conduct. Some examples of anarchy are bribery, torture of women, abduction, perversion, etc. The causes of social anarchy. Many factors are responsible of social anarchy. The proper exercising of social values is an important factor of social the social anarchy is created due to the degradation of values in the society, the deterioration and the lawlessness of law and order situation are also responsible underlined for the creation of anarchy in the society. Besides, look, besides when the law enforcing agencies show discriminatory behavior and negligence to the people seeking help is to when look when you go to a beside or nearby your thana any to write any complaint, then they did not help to you, that is called the system of government or the agency show discriminatory behavior, different activities subversive to culture, invasion of bad culture, political instability and corruption etc. is also responsible for the creation of anarchy in the society. Look, the concept of degradation. The concept of degradation of social values. The social values, very important. What is social values? Social values comprises of the integration of social norms, rules, views, and other socially recommended conduct of any society. Therefore, the values are the combination of those concept, faith, goal, objectives, and determination that indirectly control the behavior and activities of the people of the society. Underline. For example, showing proper honor, showing proper honor to the elderly person like your father, mother, teachers, and anybody who are elder person. Showing respect to the guest, showing love and affection for the young, etc. Some of the examples of social values. The deterioration of these values is called what is degradation. The deterioration of these values is called degradation of social values. So we get what is the degradation of social values. Social inconsistency arises as its outcome. The causes of degradation of social values. The change of the social values is closely associated with the changes of the society. When the society develops in education, industrialization, urbanization, and in technology, and then its social values also gets changed. Such changes of the social values may be both positive and negative. The positive changes are socially accepted facts and the negative changes are socially unaccepted facts. That is degradation of values. The social disorder or inconsistencies increases when there is the want of establishing social justice. As a result, there will be the degradation of social values. Besides, the values will be degraded when the weakness and lackings of the rules of law. The absence of tolerance among the people and unruly environment persist in the society. Misinterpretation of religious rules also lead people to a direction with no values. Like, for example, stripping in the name fake fatwa is an act contrary to values. What is fatwa? Actually, it is a fake system. Some people stripping in the fake name like fatwa, they do all illegal works and illegal judgment. It is called fatwa. The effect of social anarchy and degradation of values. The effect of anarchy and the degradation of values are far reaching in our social life, especially in the social economic perspective. The deprivation of the rights among the people increases if there is the degradation of social values and state of anarchy in the society. The whole society becomes non-functional because of corruption. The criminals become more powerful in such situation. Innocent person gets punishment. A fearful situation prevails in the social life. Standards of all service providing agencies go down trodden. Various social problems in the society also increase in an alarming. The steps to prevent social anarchy: making intensive social movement, taking social awareness program, bringing mobility and transparency in the program and activities of law enforcing agency. Actually, they have they have to play a lot of role. Taking intensive awareness program to prevent bad culture, taking awareness program and ensuring accountability is very very important for preventing corruption. Bringing transparency to the interinstitutional program for establishing justice, creating awareness to prevent malicious activities in the society. The violence towards women, the concept of violence towards women. If any violence is done towards a woman by any man or woman only for being a woman of any age is regarded as the violence towards women. A person of a group of persons commits violence against women on any excuse due to her socio-economic condition, physical or mental weakness. Tortures of various type, either physical or mental, inflicted on a woman against her wish. This violent attitude towards women can happen anywhere, such as home, street. Obviously, at present, these type of activities committed in bus, train, where the women are traveling and walking road. This is the great crime, and nowadays, recently, the Rape Act already passed in the parliament. The nature of violence to women in Bangladesh, violence against women is the main impediment to women's freedom. Violence towards women is of diverse natures of women. When a woman becomes the victim of torture, either physical or mental, inside her home, it is called domestic violence. What is called domestic violence? Underline. Generally, she becomes a victim of such type of torture by her husband, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, and other family members. This violence mainly includes beating up the wife, and Bangladesh is number one of the torture list in the world. Torture to get dowry, deprivation of education, and property rights, and sometimes they throw acid to and burn their wives' face and bodies, compelling to do excessive work, beating up the female child, and sexual harassment, and so on. Sexual harassment and torture and rape, wishful judgment, acid throwing, trafficking of women and child are all brutal, cruel, and heinous violence. The sexual harassment in recent times, the sexual harassment is one of the big social problem in Bangladesh. I think the degradation of social morality, social values, for this reason it occurs more. It is the highest moral degradation and social disaster. Like other countries, it has gripped Bangladesh also. Women of the in India, this type of activities occurred in the bus, and this the medical student name was Abhaya. Women of our country, and at last the Abhaya was died by this torture, become victims of various sexual harassment. Presently, girls and young ladies, even married women, become the victim of sexual harassment. This sexual harassment of women is known as if teaching, which is becoming unpreventable day by day. Some if teacher standing on the road and standing standing at the school, college, institution, and they are actually dropout student, and who are juvenile delinquent, and who are come from abnormal situation. If teaching is the English synonym of sexual harassment. If teaching means a man's disturbing or irritating a woman in any place. Underline. Women can be the victim of sexual harassment by men inside houses, at workplaces, in the street, or other isolated places where the crime can be committed with ill motive or to have any immoral contact. Many a time children to fall victim of sexual harassment, and their age may be 6 to 12 or 15, and torture. The fatwa, underline, very very important. In rural areas, the violence of administered towards a woman through wishful judgment. It's another name, wishful judgment. Sometimes the influential peoples of the villages administer judicial proceeding according to their own will. All this is inconsistent with existing law. The acid throwing is a very dangerous violence to women. The incidence of acid throwing has increased in Bangladesh recently. The acid survival organization of Bangladesh already record, and they initiated many programs to stop the acid throwing, and they rescue many acid throwing girls, and they help them, they provide them job, they provide them medical treatment, medical facilities, and you know, the burn unit and the chief sergeant of burn unit, Dr. Shamantulal Sen, already said it will be stopped very early, and it will be stopped quickly, because the acid throwing women and girls and child uh, is increasing day by day. Acid throwing in most of the cases happens towards women, the love affairs and the refusal of indecent proposal, dispute concerning property, quarrel in the family, and many such become the causes of acid throwing. The trafficking of children and women. Women and child who have becomes the victim of trafficking also become the victims of violence. The situation of women and children trafficking in even worse in the South Asia. Many women and child of Bangladesh are being trafficked every year. Actually, the trafficker offered these people they manage a job, and for this reason the poor women child are smuggling or trafficking to neighboring country like India, China, Malaysia. They are exploited through various inhuman and humiliating works like prostitution. Actually, the prostitution in the throughout the world, the prostitution is a big business, and these inhuman activities occurred with the trafficking children and women, camel jockey. Many times the organ and limbs, etc. of these women and children are sold out. Causes of violence to women. There are many reasons in the society for violence towards women. In our social system, women are treated always an inexpert person. The French writer or sociologist Simon said his second sex book, always our society's intention and outlooks about the women. There are second sex in the society, and there are burden of a society. The violence against women is increasing gradually because of various social outlooks like deprivation of women from different social and religious rituals, child marriage, dowry, polygamy, interest for a son in case of repeated birth of daughters. The vulnerable economic condition of our country also encourages establishing the custom of dowry. Gradually, dowry becomes a tool for torture. Besides, depriving a woman from education, fake fatwa, various evil social customs, etc., are important causes of violence towards women. In our society, still many men consider women weak and feeble. In both the rural and urban society, the attitude of several men in different families that women's only occupation will be to serve the household chores. She will cook, give birth to a child, look after the. Actually, these are the traditional thinking of our society's people. Make kitchen garden, rearing cattle, teach the children, nurse the sick, etc. The attitude of males supremacy engenders stubborn attitude in men in a number of ways. Such attitudes, a male is superior to female. Actually, they thought it. A man always thought it he is superior than female. Women are serving wives. Paradise lies beneath the feet of their husband. Promote violence towards women, again getting lesson from their childhood experience of their own families about the cruelty and deprivation of women may make a man violent towards women. The negligence of parents towards daughters' education, indifference of parents to baby child, baby girls giving preference to son, ignoring the desire of the daughters for marriage, are some of the attitude towards women that further escalate violence towards women. One important reason underlined for violence towards women is poverty. The eradicate poverty, many women come out from their houses in search of job and become a victim of violence. A huge number of female workers of Bangladesh work in government sector, lack of housing facilities leading to congestion in common bedroom, returning late at night from their workplace make them face sexual harassment. Besides, girls and women that work as domestic servant often become the victim of sexual repression. So at first we want to deprivation or safe without deprivation and safe society actually suitable for women we want. In most cases, the female folks of Bangladesh cannot express about the torture or raise their violence against such torture because of the fear of losing family or social status. Actually, women always fear about this. They lost their family, they lost their status. Incidents of violence towards women and children are increasing abundance. But to speak in favor of women and children, different activities have been administered by the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Women and Children Affairs, various NGOs. For example, I know Shalish Kendo, Breaking the Silence. These are the NGOs already has been working about this issue, and they focus this issue in many ways. They taken many program, various activities to voice for the victims. Impact of violence towards women. The impact of violence towards women life is terrible and complex. Sometimes physical torture to women results the loss of bodily organ. Such violence and injuries to the physical and mental health of women. In many cases, women go to the extreme to commit suicide. Female victims of violence cannot lead a normal life. The violence towards women is affecting the economy of our country. So I close my lecture, and next lecture I will describe the rest of the chapter. So read it properly and listen it several times, and thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.